Hi, I'm Bjorn, and today we're doing another review roundup. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so we're gonna go ahead and start with the movies I've seen during COVID. Mostly, most of them I watched today. Two of the four movies I'm going to talk about I watched today. So I guess that's a good place to start as any. So first movie I watched was Pixar's new flick Soul, which dropped on the streaming on Disney Plus today. It starred Jamie Foxx. That's really all I knew who was in it. I didn't know anything about this movie, and I can say I really enjoyed this one. Some top tier Pixar stuff, in my opinion. Visually, it was really experimental. Its premise was similar to Inside Out, but I think executed in such a way that it distinguished itself in an interesting way. I really don't have much to say about this in a good way. The ending, you'll either love it or you'll hate it. I thought it was fine. I liked it. They maybe could have gone for the sadder ending, like that Pixar typically goes for, but they didn't today. So that is what it is. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a good adventure. It had a great moral, well written, interesting characters. Morally gray character whose motives aren't exactly pure. I thought worked really well. Had a good message. Again, this is just solid Pixar. I don't really have much to say about it. It's going to be a fat 8.5 out of 9, 8.5 out of 10 for me. It's not top tier Pixar, and it's not quite a 9, but it's really solid. Let's switch it up a bit, because the last movie I'm going to talk about today, which is Wonder Woman 1984, is my Love and Monsters of this review. I have a lot to say about it, so you're going to get a lot of feedback from me. So the next movie I saw is In the Vast of Night, which is a Amazon Prime original. It is a movie about people in the 1950s operating a switchboard and hosting a radio show who accidentally make contact with an extraterrestrial being. And this movie was also very delightful. I really, really liked it. Okay, it's a little slow. It's not for everyone. If you like really slow, haunting sci-fi that just really builds upon itself, this is sort of your thing. It's mostly dialogue. There isn't much action. I think spoilers. Let me just start a quick spoilers, vague spoilers. We really see aliens at the end of the movie. And in between there, it's a lot of dialogue. So you'll either like that or not. I personally like it. The movie does some really experimental, long takes, and specifically this one scene where it runs through the whole town. At first I thought it was CGI. I realized it was a practical shot. I'm not quite sure how they did it, but the camera sort of slowly goes through the whole town and then winds up inside of this gymnasium. I really love that shot, and I'm not sure how they did it. The movie was clearly low budget, but it used its budget extremely well. There's a specific scene towards the end where they're interviewing this old lady about her extraterrestrial experience, and it was freaking haunting. It was really good. All the acting is good. They delivered period dialogue in a way that I thought was interesting. So if you're a fan of slow burn X-Files-esque alien stuff, this is probably your thing. So the next movie I'm going to talk about is another Pixar movie. I'm talking about Onward. This also came out early COVID, and I actually went to an early screening of this and never made a review of it because lazy. And I liked it. This one is not as good as Soul. I liked it at the time more than I think I like it now. I think it's really good in a first watch through. I like it a lot because I happen to be a big fan of D&D stuff, fantasy stuff like that in general. So I thought all that worked really well because, I like that sort of stuff. I like that fantasy. I like that genre. And I think what this movie excels at is the ending. It's a very good ending. Solid Pixar twist, an emotional moment. It's just missing something, and I don't know what that is. So it's kind of hypocritical for me to come in here and say it's not as good, but it's just something missing from the movie. Just a little piece, something more. It meanders a bit in the center, it doesn't really go anywhere there, and then at the end it goes somewhere, but it's not really connected to that. So I would say my problem with this movie is just sort of meandering, So it's fine. It's a solid 8 out of 10, 7.5. 7.5 out of 10. It's good. It's Pixar. Looks gorgeous. It's funny. It's entertaining. It's just missing something that the other Pixar movies have. put it in closer to like Cars than to like Up. So make it that what you will. So the last movie I'm going to talk about today, unless I can think of another one that I saw and was going to talk about and forgot, which is probably not a resounding, applause for the movie. I have a couple more on my list. I should be able to get through some more streaming movies and make another one of these. Specifically, I'm thinking of Ending Things, and there's one more. I'll think of it. The Devil All the Time. Those are two movies that are definitely on my list, and I will be watching. So tonight I watched Wonder Woman 1984 because I'm a big comic book shill, and I thought I was mediocre. I enjoy it. I'll start with what I liked. I like monkey paw stories. I like the idea of making wishes and having unforeseen side effects. And on that front, I thought Pedro Pascal's stuff really worked. I liked his, we'll get on spoilers. Straight up going to talk about this movie a ton of spoilers. I thought Pedro Pascal's villain, Max, oh my god, I already forgot his name. Resounding. I actually knew him from the comic books. He founded the Justice League in Justice League 1. Whatever. He's good. I like all his stuff. Pedro Pascal especially. He's given like a mega performance here. He's going off the walls. He's hamming it up. He's having fun. And parts of this movie really felt like a Sam Raimi movie. In a bad way. His performance felt like a Sam Raimi villain in a good way. But some of the other stuff felt like Sam Raimi in a bad way. Like that really cheesy, silly stuff that everyone memes on. People pretend like it's good, but really it's just not what you want. Specifically, alright, so let me go into the bad. Because I've got to dip into the bad before I get to the good. The bad, the frickin' CGI. Frickin' terrible. It's nasty. Made me have like Vietnam flashbacks to Black Panther, except like 20 times worse. I mean, I'm gonna put up a video probably in the next 2 days where I'm gonna stand in front of a green screen and just recreate. Random people yelling. Just recreate one of the green screen shots. They're just so bad. They're stinky. I don't know how anyone thought that was a good idea. They're just terrible. And the other thing I don't necessarily care for while we're talking about like action and stuff, the lasso was kind of good for some scenes. Like having her use the lasso a lot works. She used it too much. I swear to God, it was like they were trying to make her Spider-Man, and like they're swinging off things, and she flies. She flies. They show her flying at the end. She's flying everywhere. Yeah, and then she starts swinging again. I'm like, why are you swinging? You can fly, dude. What? At the end of the movie, this cheetah is there, and she looks terrible. She looks like Chewbacca's like sex doll of Chewbacca's celebrity, who's been animated by the Crypt Keeper and has been tossed around. She looks nasty, dude. She looks like a furry who's seen the rough end of FurCon, dude. Nasty. She's swinging around too. She's grabbing like live wires and swinging around, and Wonder Woman's swinging around. They're swinging at each other, and it looks like Spider-Man's fighting each other. Ugh. Did not care for the swinging mechanics necessarily. I definitely think they were trying a little hard to look like Spider-Man. Like, oh, everyone loves Spider-Man. Let's be like Spider-Man. Like, not everyone's Spider-Man. Shut the fuck up. Don't put it in my Wonder Woman movies. I'm a fucking neckbeard nerd. I'm tired, and I don't want any swinging in my movies. No more swinging. Also, she was clearly ripping off Indiana Jones as well. He swings. No swinging. If anyone that isn't Spider-Man or Indiana Jones swings in a movie, I'm gonna be there and beat the shit out of you. And kick the crap out of you. No swinging in my movies, alright? This is a tangent, but I don't like swinging. Pretty sure on the CGI, the director not ran out of money. I think that they were like halfway through production when COVID happened, and they realized that they were just gonna take the L, and they just stopped working on the CGI. I think it really, really shows. So, Yeah, the CGI is gonna drop it a couple points for me. Cheetah in this movie felt really unnecessary. I know why she was there. She was there because Wonder Woman needed to punch something at the end, and Pedro Pascal's villain isn't necessarily something you punch. And they were like, well, we can't have her talk her way out of a problem. We need a big action scene. So they threw together this lame fight with Cheetah. And that fight was lame. It was dumb. They were swinging, and I'm back on swinging. No swinging in my superhero movies, okay? Unless you're Spider. So so that was sort of a bust. Things I like though. Again, I think Pedro Pascal is really good. Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, she's fine. She's okay. Chris Pine is really good. Their chemistry together is really good. They have that same dynamic. They've swapped the fish in the water stuff. The fish out of the water. Not fish in the water. Fish out of the water stuff so that, like, now Chris Pine is the fish out of the water in the 80s, and that works really well, I think. I think the movie looks fine cinematically for the most part. The 80s nostalgia isn't too annoying or rampant. Nothing out of the craziness there. So, I think what's really holding this movie back is, again, there's some dumb dialogue occasionally. Cheetah doesn't necessarily need to be in here, but I guess she's fine. Some other stuff, like, okay, so at the end of the movie, everyone in the world refutes their wishes, which I guess this is a plot hole or whatever, but there's no way in hell that everyone would willingly give up their wishes. It showed these guys in the Middle East, like martyrs or whatever, and they're like in the middle of a heated civil war. It's like, I give up. I regret my wish for nukes. I regret it. I want it back. And those guys, they're fighting for what they believe in. They're fighting for their religion. These guys are zealots and they're warriors, and they're not gonna give up their wish because Wonder Woman says that it's bad. It's stupid. And like they have this scene that made me laugh out loud. And I hate that I laughed out loud, but this chick is like, I wish all of you Irish dogs or whatever would get knocked out of the country, and then like they start dragging them away, and I was like, oh no, I'm done for. I gotta hide. Don't drag me away. I'm sorry, I'm Irish. I won't ever eat a potato again, I swear. It's like really silly and fun. More stuff like that. I thought the wish stuff really worked. I like Pedro Pascal. This movie's a little long. They could have cut Cheetah and sort of trimmed it down. CGI bad. Action scene bad. The opening scene specifically was so cringy. I think they were trying to be goofy with it. But when they cut this little girl and she gives Wonder Woman a thumbs up, and at one point she like walks out behind two active shooters and she stands there and goes, mm-hmm, and like looks at Wonder Woman. That was terrible. And it's like this little girl, and you're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? No! Why are you? There's active shooters there. And then like Wonder Woman throws a guy right next to her and pushes the little girl into like a teddy bear or something. And they cut back to her, and she keeps giving Wonder Woman a thumbs up. Wonder Woman like winks at her. It's like really dumb, super dumb. And me and my brother were watching it, and he turned to me and goes, "Man, Bjorn, I think this might be bad." And I was like, "Yeah, it might be." And it picked up from there. It got better after that. But by opening scene, I don't mean the scene with the Olympics, which goes nowhere and has no bearing on the plot. I think it was only there to give exposition about this warrior, which was only there so they could sell an action figure of Wonder Woman in the cool armor, and so that they could put Linda Carter in at the end of the movie. Yeah, I think that's really my thoughts. 6.5 out of 10. Fine. I think this movie's got to be not liked by the community. I have a soft spot for Regret Your Wish stories. The only one I've ever seen that was so bad I had to like say I hated it was Wish Upon, which was also really funny. So I give that one kind of a mini pass too. I like these stories. You want me to review your movies higher than they deserve? Put some wishing in there. Give me some wishes. I like that the after credit scene is just sort of fan service and doesn't set anything up. I don't think DC should be counting their chickens before they hatch right now. You know, like teasing movies, like as if movies are going to continue to be a thing like they are now. So yeah, I think this one's kind of a little stinky. Definitely not as good as the first one. I think maybe in the third one it's time to get a new director. I think I've long been an advocate of every movie in the franchise should have a new director unless it's like one director's original story. Because I think what ends up happening is their director's vision works good for one movie, And sometimes it doesn't work for another. There's exceptions like James Gunn, of course, where they're not original characters, but they basically are. But Wonder Woman is not Patty Jenkins' original creation. I love her first movie. This one, the cracks are starting to show a little bit. So maybe a change in voice is what we need, but for all I know, we can end up with another Zack Snyder or something like that. Oh, I'm so hyped about the Snyder Cut. Don't even get me started, dude. Me and my buddies are going to get shit-faced and watch a stream on it. It's going to be so bad. It's like 4.5 hours now. They're putting, like, the Joker in it. It's going to be so bad. We're really excited. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on the movies. Check them out if you're interested. Ignore them if you're not. I was really lazy today, so I just recorded in my bed. I'm falling asleep. It's like 1:30, Christmas Day. I'm literally recording this because I watched so many movies today. Before I fall asleep, I'm going to call that one a Dunzo, world's laziest review. Sub and like if you like, dislike, and feed me. Make me stronger. Your hatred gives me power. Alright, bye.